Follow me, follow me. Hey guys, how's it going? Hey, Ezra. Hi.
Ezra, hello.
Hi. This is the greatest day of my life. How are you doing?
I'm so excited. I think I like take breaks from Harry Potter every now and then to try and like integrate with normal people. But I love it, love it. Like watching this, getting all geeky. It's like, oh, I'm back home.
Yeah.
I don't have to pretend anymore.
Yeah, totally. Especially because you spent how many years making these films?
Like 5 years, 14 to 18, 19. So when did you get into them?
I was like 6 and my dad read me the first one. And I loved it so much. And then it became this huge self-soothing mechanism for me through my adolescence. And around the time when the last book came out and then when you guys made the last movies, I was at that age.
So I was about 8 years old and I was reading like all these girly books and my mom was like, oh, we need to open your mind a bit. And then I didn't want to, but she was reading it to my brother and I listened to it and I just was obsessed. I was just enraptured. And so I read them 8 all the way through and that became my thing. Because I didn't really have any other talents. That became like, I am the Harry Potter girl. I was very proud to be a huge fan.
Right, yeah. You're the Harry Potter geek and that gives you value. Yeah.
I was also a bit of a problem on set though for that reason where I'd be like, why have you cut this?
Totally. Tell me about it. Yeah.
Why are these characters talking?
Oh my gosh, I can't even imagine.
And I knew everything about my cast members as well because like it comes to a point where the books aren't enough and you need to start being obsessed with the actors' lives. And again, I knew all their birthdays. I knew Daniel Radcliffe's dogs' names.
So
I knew Emma Watson's cats. But it wasn't.
Why is that a problem?
Oh, because I'd be like, "Happy birthday to your cat."
And they'd be like, "You are terrifying." Yeah. Wouldn't that put you in a nice, like, natural Luna Lovegood chemistry with those actors, though?
Totally.
So maybe you're just a methodical genius.
I like that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
yeah.
Let's watch some scenes. So what we're here to do, I don't know if we've even talked about it, but it's the most exciting day because we get to watch pieces of Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald, and we're going to talk about literally everything about them. If you are one of the people who has decided to watch this, we're just going to presume that you're kind of with us and that maybe you're also a nerd and that you're ready for this sort of thing. Uh-oh. There he is. He's watching the flight. He's like Norman Bates right now.
Is he about to kill them?
Oh! Wandless magic like we've never seen.
Yeah.
That was like a spontaneous protego with no wand or words.
Prisoner is secured and ready to travel.
It's Abernathy! Do you remember Abernathy from the first film? He's just kind of skeezy.
Dodgy vibes.
Dodgy vibes.
We found his wand hidden away. And we found this.
Oh, they found that. What is that? That's important.
Bye!
Oh, it's the Elder Wand.
Oh, so that's where a careful fan will get it.
Abernathy. Yeah, a careful fan will
be like, why does he have an Elder Wand?
Yeah, an Elder Wand.
Yeah. Oh my god. He's like, I has a secret.
Oh, something's wrong with your face, dude. Polyjuice! It's Polyjuice. Wow.
What's he just done?
Incredible magic. How is he doing that? How's he doing that on the carriage even, you know? All the wandless magic that he's been doing, and like now he has the Elder Wand back.
A lot of yoga.
Wow, look at that. Look at that, but you did that wandless.
That was pretty damn lucky.
See, that was just sadistic. That was a sadistic way. Oh, what a good scene.
He's gone.
The crimes have begun.
Yeah. That is just like you watch the scene. It's like, okay, that didn't last long. He probably just starts meditating when he's captured because he's like, oh, it'll pass. I'm gonna find
Totally.
an
And you remember the line when he reveals himself and then he says, "Do you think you can hold me?"
That was nice.
Right. And Serafina Pickery says, "We'll do our best, Mr. Grindelwald." I think the whole thing with Grindelwald, too, is that he is a brilliant manipulator.
Oh, my God, yeah. Which we see later on.
Which is interesting in the context of who his best bud was. Because they're both manipulators, right? They're both users.
Dumbledore.
Totally.
For the good.
But whose line is that? What did we just end up saying? For the greater good.
Oh, that's from his house.
Yeah, Nurmgard. That's Grindelwald's hidey hole.
And he had a prison that then they put him in.
That's right.
Forever.
Yes. We knew that he was the darkest wizard before Voldemort.
Right.
And we knew that in 1945, Dumbledore defeated him. It's in...
It was on a chocolate frog card. That's where we first learned about it.
Right. I mean, we know that they were
relationship.
close and that they had this ideological connection.
Right. Twin flames.
Exactly. Yeah. Twin flames, and you agree about radical ideas, and you agree about... And then there's this thing that happens, I think, when it's a real sort of dynamic where when people mature, someone might change their mind. Dumbledore looks in the mirror of Erised and sees Grindelwald. What does the mirror of Erised show you? Sorry, spoiler.
Oh my God.
I'm so sorry.
Are you serious?
Oh my gosh. Yeah. So what does the mirror of Erised show us?
Your deepest desire.
The most desperate desire of your heart is what Dumbledore says in the first book.
Can we talk also about the necklace? Because they're like super...
The necklace is important.
When I was a kid, you'd have a heart necklace saying best friends.
Yeah, totally. Or friendship bracelets. Or totally.
Yeah. It's kind of like
that's what the blood oath is.
Intense.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Because you can totally see them doing it as teenagers and it being such a romantic gesture.
Totally.
And at that point,
I share your heart. Like, it's so real.
Why would I ever do anything to you?
Yeah.
Well, that's what I was wondering. I was like,
you gotta be careful when you make
Grindelwald
one of those.
manipulate him into that? Because knowing he's one of the most powerful, the most powerful wizard of all time.
Totally.
And it's like, if I can just check him off my list as not having to fight, that would be pretty convenient. Yeah.
Let's watch the next scene.
You told me where to find that traffic Thunderbird, Dumbledore. You knew that I would take him home, and you knew I'd have to take him through a Muggle ball.
I've always felt an affinity with the great magical birds. There's a story in my family that a phoenix will come to any Dumbledore.
Not just a story.
They say my great-grandfather had one, and that it took flight when he died, never to return.
Which is exactly what happens.
What's that? An address of a very old acquaintance of mine. A safe house in Paris.
A safe house? Why would I need a safe house in Paris?
One hopes she won't, but should things at some point go terribly wrong, it's good to have a place to go.
Oh my God, that's so Dumbledore.
Yeah.
Terribly wrong.
But forgive me for asking, why can't you go?
I cannot move against Grindelwald. It has to be you.
Putting a lot of pressure on me here, bud.
Well, I can't blame you. In your shoes, I'd probably refuse to.
What?
It's late. Good evening, Newt.
Wait, no. Oh, come on.
Oh, yeah, amazing. Everything we were just talking about Dumbledore being a manipulator is very observed in this. Like, he's being a user, and he's being kind of open-handed about it, and he keeps just blatantly ignoring Newt's very valid questions and concerns. And Newt is like,
Yeah.
Oh, come on.
Do you think Dumbledore would have accepted no?
I mean, I think with someone like Dumbledore, accepted, maybe. Expected, never.
And this card that he's given him, it kind of reminds me of like the Dumbledore's Army coins.
Yeah, totally. And just seeing that symbol, I think a lot of people will know that it must be Flamel. Because what's fascinating is there's places where the wizarding world meets with real esoteric history. And one of them is explored in this film. It's the biggest one. It's the biggest link between sort of the mysteries of esoteric history and Rowling's wizarding world, which is Flamel. The Flamel, for instance, is a symbol associated with this real guy who lived that people believed was actually an alchemist who got this book from this guy that was written by Abraham the Jew that was some alchemical magic book that allowed him to achieve the Philosopher's Stone with his partner. So they died at some point, and then there were all these theories like that they'd gone to India. You know, and then there's some other weird accounts where, you know, like Paramahansa Yogananda or someone says that they go in India, and there are some people who are super old, like older than people think people can live.
And the first mention of it was like in Philosopher's Stone.
That's right. First mention of Flamel is on that same chocolate frog card that first mentions Grindelwald.
It was so crazy how so many little parts of the universe were contained on this back of the chocolate frog card.
Let's watch the next scene. Who's this person?
You just dropped probably the biggest bomb on the Harry Potter universe in a decade.
Yeah.
Nagini.
I know. Super fans are gonna scream. They're not gonna hear the rest of this scene.
Yeah.
All of our acting work lost.
Yeah, right.
You know? But you know that it is a Sanskrit word. That means a feminine naga, and the nagas are the divine, sort of neutral ground snake beings of ancient Eastern wisdom traditions. Busts out the fire drakes, and she bites Skender. And now the circus is on fire. The Zulu is out.
Wait, so what can you tell me that you know about those creatures?
So a lot of them actually are real. Again, now we're trying to look at the Potterverse and the world that we live in just colliding because, you know, a lot of these are mythological creatures from different traditions. So the Zulu is from the Chinese tradition, and the Kappa and the Oni are both real mythical creatures from the Japanese tradition. And so it all blurs into this beautiful world of understanding that what we might think is unreal might be realer than we think. Hogwarts, Hogwarts, Hoggy, Hoggy, Hogwarts. Yes.
What were the 3 biggest mistakes that you made last time?
Teaching defense against the dark arts. What's going on?
Parry before counter cursor.
He's teaching duel right now. And you just got smacked up by dummies.
First 2.
This is a school.
Oh, McGonagall!
I'm the head of magical.
McGonagall!
With her little Scottish accent.
You know it right away.
However long you keep me and my friends under surveillance, you're not going to discover plots against you, Travers, because we want the same thing, the defeat of Grindelwald. But I warn you, your policies of suppression and violence are pushing supporters into his arms.
Whoa. Whoa. Yeah. Dumbledore and the Ministry, man. A long history of radical versus more middle-of-the-road politics.
Right, and you think they'd have learned by the time the Harry Potter books happen? You think they'd have been like...
Right, trust Dumbledore, totally.
Your brother seeks to destroy you.
This is a spoiler, and if you haven't watched the movie yet and you're the bizarre type of person who watches the DVD extras before the movie, I've never met you. And yeah, don't keep watching this because we're about to spoil literally the final reveal of the movie.
There is a legend in your family that a phoenix will come to any member who is in dire need. It is your birthright, my boy. As is the name I now restore to you. Aurelius. Aurelius Dumbledore.
Ugh. My God, you're a Dumbledore. I mean, NBD. And the fact that Grindelwald tells you, who obviously had this long checkered relationship with Dumbledore, and now he's trying to control you.
And he's known this somehow, so it explains his interest, why he was even in the Graves body.
Right.
Polyjuice Stylon.
And Dumbledore, we don't know, but
By
he
the way,
apparently didn't
hashtag
know.
where is Percival Graves? Where is Percival Graves? Where is he? Where is the real one? Colin speculated that he was in a ditch somewhere.
Right. So, you
Yes.
are an OG Dumbledore.
Oh my gosh.
Like,
It's
what?
So weird.
Could you have figured it out? No.
I mean...
It would have been
No.
a wild guess.
No, yeah. I mean, I hadn't, but David Heyman had stolen the thunder and told me that I was Dumbledore's brother.
Right.
To which I went, Aberforth? How could I be Aberforth? Does my eye color change? How does that happen? How do I acquire the accent? I guess I could see it. I guess I could, I don't know. So then I talked to Joe, and Joe was like, have you figured out who you are? Or has anyone told you? And I was like, David Heyman told me. And she was like, I can't believe him. And then I was like, but I just don't understand. Like, can you explain it to me? Like, the accent and the eyes. And she was like, no, you're not Aberforth. You're the unknown one. You are Aurelius Dumbledore. And she said it to me.
Oh, really? So, a lot of fans, and we've discussed this, we think it's true, believe that Ariana Dumbledore, Dumbledore's younger sister, was an Obscurus.
Right.
Or, like, had, what do you say? Had an Obscurus? Was an Obscurus?
Was an Obscurial.
Was an Obscurial.
Yeah.
Because we know from the books that she was killed in a fight. Who killed her? Grindelwald?
So this is page 459 of this edition, this sort of edition of the Deathly Hallows. I knew my brother Potter. He learned secrecy at our mother's knee. Secrets and lies. That's how we grew up. And Albus, he was a natural. The old man's eyes traveled to the painting of the girl over the mantelpiece. It was, now Harry looked around properly, the only picture in the room. There was no photograph of Albus Dumbledore, nor of anyone else. Mr. Dumbledore, said Hermione rather timidly. Is that your sister, Ariana? Yes, said Aberforth tersely. I'm skipping a little because it's not Ariana related. When my sister was 6 years old, she was attacked, set upon by 3 Muggle boys. They'd seen her doing magic, spying through the back garden hedge. She was a kid. She couldn't control it. No witch or wizard can at that age. What they saw scared them, I expect. They forced their way through the hedge, and when she couldn't show them the trick, they got a bit carried away trying to stop the little freak doing it. Yeah. Aberforth stood up, tall as Albus, and suddenly terrible in his anger and the intensity of his pain. It destroyed her, what they did. She was never right again. She wouldn't use magic, but she couldn't get rid of it. It turned inward and drove her mad. It exploded out of her when she couldn't control it, and at times she was strange and dangerous, but mostly she was sweet and scared and harmless.
Do you want to skip ahead to...
And my father went after the bastards that did it and attacked them, and they locked him up in Azkaban for it. He never said why he'd done it, because if the Ministry had known what Ariana had become, she'd have been locked up in St. Mungo's for good. They'd have seen her as a serious threat to the International Statute of Secrecy. This is what we're dealing with Credence. Like, the Ministry of Magic and Makusa is trying to kill the Obscurial because you can't have an Obscurial going around because it's just killing no mages, muggles, you know? We had to keep her safe and quiet. We moved house, put it about she was ill, and my mother looked after her and tried to keep her calm and happy. I was her favorite, he said. And as he said it, a grubby schoolboy seemed to look out through Aberforth's wrinkles and tangled beard.
So the fan theory is that she's
she was an Obscurial.
An Obscurial, but it has not been confirmed.
Has not been confirmed.
Do you think Dumbledore knows about you?
So this is stuff we can't talk about.
Oh my
yeah.
God. Oh.
I mean, we can talk about it later. We just can't talk about it now. It's done. It's all over. We don't have enough time. We're running out of time because we can't do it because we just want to talk nerd. We'll do this again really soon. I love you. Thank you for doing this with me.